Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I just woke up, so um, yeah, a little bit slow in the brain. But so we're gonna do this on stream, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just went live now. I got your VOD up. Before we start, I'm just gonna ask like some questions. Just wondering, like, is there anything in particular that you feel like you want to work on and like improve on?
So I played this game a lot for like many years, like 6 years, and I took a year off.
Okay.
And I felt like ever since I came back, like a few months ago, I like everything feels like really slow. I feel like I'm not doing my rotations right or something. I don't
Okay.
know if I'm farming good enough.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I just know it doesn't feel like how it used to feel,
Yeah.
and I don't know exactly what's wrong.
Okay. Yeah, we'll look into what's going on then and see kind of what's happening. What rank are you right now?
What at five, like 1900 MMR.
Plat 5. Okay, so then
Yeah.
you should at least be like having like, you should be playing decent. So yeah, we'll see. Do you want me to share the screen on Discord as well, or do you want to watch through Twitch, or
Either or works.
I'll I'll
I have your stream. I can open up your stream really quick.
I'll get it up on Discord so it's like instant, because on stream there will be like a few second delay, right? Because I
Yeah.
like to pause and kind of explain a little bit what I'm thinking. Um, uh, but yeah, we can get started and we'll see kind of what's going on. We'll start with looking at like your initial build. It's a completely fine start as well. This is kind of what I go a lot of the time. Like Bombas Jotuns is very standard, but then like the potion selection and then the relic shard. This game you have the choice to go beads or blink if you want to try and be more aggressive and set the pace, and you feel like you can avoid the Kumba CC or whatever, like you can play
Right.
around it, and completely fine. So you can adjust this audio.
Yeah. There's a little bit of static in the back. I didn't
Oh,
realize until.
oh, wait, in the
No.
video.
Yeah. I didn't realize was there until like I
Oh wait,
completed
my
the.
Twitch
the
isn't. Okay, I can't stream it apparently on Discord if I do it on Twitch, so I have to do it. I can only do it at once. So you'll have to watch through the Twitch then if that's fine.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, we'll just get to where the game starts. Oh, there's a pause as well. In the start, you can start the 1 or the 3. 3 is shorter cooldown. They're like similar damage. I've been going the 3 mainly, but you have to group up the creeps like properly.
Right.
I have for splitting, normal. Good to glance over and see what's happening. Now you have the choice whenever you clear these. If you want to look for a rotation, then it's always good to like you're doing now, walk in this path.
Right.
And if you want to try and pressure that enemy jungler, like you feel like you have a strong fight into them, like you can try to poke them before they walk into lane, so you get like the aggressive pathing to mid. And if you ever in a matchup where you don't feel like comfortable, looking for the poke, or like you want to be safer, then you just walk through the mid tower.
Yeah. They kind of just. I saw they were both my teammates were low, so I
Yeah,
just went back.
I think you could have almost spotted that like pretty early on. Like as soon as you glanced over initially, um, good disengage here to not overcommit on these mid harpies when they rotate. You get the too small, take it away. But you will have lost out on a little bit of farm already now because you didn't get to split anything in mid to look for this dual rotation. It's a very opportunistic play to go for. And I mean, at least when you have these two in dual lane, right? You have Rama Scylla versus like a Kumba and Hachi. You have pretty low kill potential already. So unless you saw that they were poked, it's probably not even worth thinking about that. I would just prioritize trying to get, you know, the mid harpies and you know the mid wave to try and get some farm and be stronger later on. Because now you kind of put yourself up behind a little bit.
Yeah.
So it looks like you might. Let's see if you're gonna contest here. They tried to ambush you guys there. Does this guy get out? He's dead. Yeah, I was bait by the Afro. I said that's pretty risky to flank if they do that ambush. Mainly because the Afro, you can get away kind of easily, but the Afro just dies if they go on her. So, but this entire play might not even have played out if instead of looking for a duo gank earlier, you had just done the farm, walked to mid, cleared mid, and then you would have traded the mid harpies either direction.
Yeah.
So it would have just been a completely different scenario, and you would have had a different set of choices you could have made at that point instead. Here, because you see the Afro in mid and the Tiki's up, I would just go clear Tiki first, because you're gonna wanna split these buffs together, and the Afro still has the waves to deal with. So just get the Tiki first, and then you can come back and do these buffs together. If the Afro's still in mid, you could also maybe just make sure that Kronos gets the blue.
Makes sense.
But here you're also losing like a lot of time. The Afro doesn't even get the red farm, and you haven't you didn't group these, so you take it even longer to farm, and you're not gonna have your Tiki for the first speed that you get. Obviously, you can just walk over and clear this speed, but it would have just been more efficient to try and get the yellow Tiki first there. Then as soon as you had like cleared this and that you could just get a good insta back into. Yeah, a good habit to get into is to, whenever you like come out of base, try and buy like an HP potion, maybe a ward. Can be a normal or a sentry, but if you have the extra gold, it's almost always worth it. Especially the HP potion, because that's just another like 250 HP that you're getting on top of your like already 1k. So it's helping you both to sustain, to farm more, which so the gold will earn itself back. But also if you're like fighting or poking, then you can sustain back and be able to either, you know, continue fighting, or it will allow you to farm more. And then vision is just always good to have as you get more information on what the enemy is doing, which gives you information on what you can do as a jungler. You get out. Okay, good juke on the stun. I'm gonna watch through this quickly again.
Yeah.
And see kinda what you could do is just blink in and just try to, well, I mean, if you want, you can try and force the speeds through your ult like you were doing, But just make sure that you actually wait for his speeds to wear out before you use the 2 to pull him in with your CC.
Yeah,
Or...
I thought I timed it right so it would run out as I pulled him.
All right.
I was, yeah,
Yeah.
but I was off by a little bit.
Yeah. That's... I mean, that's just unfortunate then, because
And
it
then
would have been
at
a
that
lot
point,
cleaner, right? You would have taken so
yeah,
much less damage, because now you teleport into the tower and everything. I'm not even sure it's... like, it's risky to even go for this dive, because... well, it's not really like that value of a kill. So... but you might have died anyway because of the Morgan rotation.
Oregon.
So,
Yeah.
like, going for the trade in that scenario might have been good, but sometimes it's worth just leaving the kill and be like, okay, whatever, like, you know, you dropped it, it's fine, it happens. Because now you're gonna come out of base, like, you have no buffs or anything. It's pretty rough time. Whereas,
Yeah.
if you just, like, stayed alive, you could at least have, like, soaked the wave a bit. We'll see what happens next. Make sure to always look for the mid RPC. Even before, if this chest is up, if this neutral form that you think has respawned or that should have respawned, go check it before you clear the form that's down here anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's a contested piece of form. A neutral form, because it's, well, yeah, neutral, everyone gets the same amount of XP for clearing it. Whereas if you walk into like the enemy jungle and try to like take their buffs, in the early game you have XP reduction, so you don't get the maximum value. But for mid harpies, everyone has the same value, so it's doubly important to try and control them, since you're not just getting the XP yourself, but you're taking away the same amount of XP from the enemies. And that's why you always want to try and be prioritizing whenever that form is like up and you're close by. You want to make sure you get that first before, like, say you're walking by and the green is up, go, and but you think mid harp is up, you would check the mid harpies first, as long as you're safe to do them at least. Okay, good there to realize that you needed to try and secure the buff, since the kill potential was really low. Okay, nice use of the slipstream to follow the jump. This guy doesn't seem to know. I think he might have spotted you there.
Yeah, this I heard Morgan on her red, so I wasn't gonna fight a Hades. So I thought I could go try and take the red, but
yeah,
she had gotten it.
it's fine. You could have still looked to try and steal it, because the Kronos was pushing the wave, and so if you're delaying the Hades, then he might have to make the choice between like trying to hold the wave or losing creeps and the blue. But maybe he just like tries to one-shot it, whatever. It was sort of safe, unless you thought the Morgan was gonna collapse on you, to just try and like steal it and then use your, because you have your 2 dashes, so he shouldn't be able to chase you. And the jungler was dead. Also, what happened? I didn't see. Did we just walk past the mid harpies here?
No, they were respawning. Yeah. I definitely did just walk right past them.
Yeah. So same thing as earlier. Like if the mid harpies are coming up, and unless you think that there's a danger in going for them, and you're close by to them, then always try and get them before like the other farm. It would be different if you're like on this speed, right, and these mid harpies are spawning, or like you're coming out of base and they're spawning, and you have this speed up. Then I would say just go for the speed, because if you made like the rotation to go to mid harpies and they got cleared, then you would waste so much time. But because you're already in that area, it's just think that it's like really important form to try and control.
Right.
I guess you missed picking the speed buff up there, unless you left it on purpose.
Nope, completely missed it.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I do that too sometimes. It's not the end of the world because you have this speed. Here, if I'm not sure if you want to look for like a quick rotation, but if you're just farming, then group these chests with the green, because you can get all of this farm at once, so you don't have to keep using multiple abilities. You just like pull these with your 3 or whatever, or you can walk up and auto them and just walk down to the green, because then you can clear these like roaming harpies at the same time. Just saves you time and it's just more efficient. If you're
Right.
like in a rush to make a rotation or a play, then it's fine to just do the chests. Here you should have spotted the Bastet in right lane. Almost worked out. Let's see, did you... You got on most autos, I think. You don't have beads or anything, so you can't beat that. Yeah, the only thing
Choose
you could have
outranged
really...
auto.
Yeah, the only really thing you could have got done different is you could have maybe got another AE cancel in. But you did a good job of trying to juke out the teleport. Like, there when you teleported in, before you placed your ult, you could have autoed.
Right.
But yeah, that's about it. Well, just gonna say that we also have a pretty strong power spike in hand, so don't necessarily need to fight too much. But it was good there to get like, I would say that's a win on its own though, just getting the Morgan ult and beats. Now you should hopefully be able to look for like a play around the mid. Okay, good to spot that they're taking a fight here. This, I don't know what was going on there, but guess you're looking for a play here in solo. Are you expecting the blue buff? The blue buff should be spawning soonish, so should be fine to look for. If you want to try and avoid vision, it might have been better to path above the... What would you call this? Like little wall or hill or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because this place is commonly warded, so you're most likely to catch someone by surprise by coming like around that way, because that spot usually isn't warded.
I think originally I was like, oh yeah, blue's gonna come up in a second, and I saw the Hades, and I'm like, well, red's also here. So
This was really good. Yeah, it's really good that because you put yourself in a position to collapse on the Bastet if she overstepped and, you know, exposed herself. But because you realize that you couldn't go for it, you turn around, you see that the red is coming up, you have the timer. This is a really good play. Just taking away some farm from them. It's good that you try and play some, get some distance between the two of you. Oh. Okay, he actually did die. I was gonna say, no, you just get out. You did a good job here of trying to like avoid damage and then going in here when like you play this the space safe and then you get the 3 in. The Kumbag, I don't know if you could have waited like slightly longer for the dash on the 3. I didn't see the timing on it.
it probably would have been like the last tick.
Yeah, would have been like only the nicer thing, but all in all it was fine. You get another 200 more and yeah. Let's see what you do here when you disengage. as soon as you can enter the fight, it's just always important to just try and see like, okay, what is there any farm map? Can you go do any farm? Do you need to back? Oh, nice, the little shop came. Alright. I mean, that was, that was good. Like the fight, you did what you could. You got out. You went back to farm. And you're just clearing everything you can. You didn't really have a position where sometimes after a fight, if you win it, a lot of people miss out on like trying to look for like a counter invade or whatever. Here it's probably best to back as well. Again, you could buy like a potion, an HP potion, some vision. You still have this shop to do that, but try and get in the habits, and it is easier to play with vision, and it is the correct way to play. You like it is ranked, so I understand that like if some people don't want, but as you're trying to improve, using wards to help you collect data, like information on the map, what's happening,
Right.
will help you get better at understanding when you can try and like expose the positions of like where the enemies are. It helps you set up like counter ganks. It helps you know that you can take a fight that's like a safe fight. You know, for example, if you see like the Bastet here, but you have 3 people here and like their ADC's far up, you know, you can go for like an aggressive gank or even a tower dive because the counter gank isn't anywhere close. It's just getting into the habit of using wards. Um, okay, you're good. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, this was... I think you just got a bit impatient here because he was low. If you want to damage him... I'll just pause quickly, maybe. If you want to damage him when you come in like this, that's fine. But don't use your 3. You only want to use your 3 if you're like going for like max DPS, like AA cancels. Hold on to the 3 because if he dashes away, then you can follow it. Use the 1 instead after the pull. Or just auto attack. Like just auto attacking here would have maybe been even better because you should be anticipating that he will be using the dash here, right? Because if he
Right.
doesn't, then he's just gonna die anyway, and you get to hold on to like your chase and other spells. But now you took so much more extra damage because of it. You still could have just maybe just ulted if you wanted to be safe instead of walking in and taking so much damage there. In fights, you always want to try and avoid the damage that is avoidable. Alright, so you won this fight. It's a big rotation here. As soon as the fight's over, yeah, you just want to go look for farm. There wasn't really that much that you could impressure on the side of the map. Because the Chronos backed, you could maybe have wanted to back here to try and get over to the right side of the map and hold the farm, but you would have lost that wave anyway, because it was already so pushed up. But I'm not sure what the Chronos is gonna do here. He should back in though. But at least, you know, you could have tried to get to... It might have been better to just get reset there and get to the right side of the map so that you could get like oracles and be in position for the beacon. As this farm would have been fine to just go for later, and this is contested farm and a contested like point of, well, a contested objective, I suppose, the beacon. Okay, nice. I really like this sequence. You did a lot of damage with barely taking in. You positioned smarter on the rock. You were ready to collapse. You're waiting for your team to use, you know, bait out abilities. And then you caught the Bastet. Nice pull in. Nice. But this was a really good sequence by you. You played this really well. Then we'll see what you do here. It's good here just getting the farm. But that's the only one that's up. Opa, thank you for the 2 months. Okay, because you see the Bastet in left now, it could be worthwhile just checking their jungle if anything has respawned. Like the
Right.
green and purple, because you know everyone is dead. And whenever you kill someone, so you get the objective, right? But because unless you think that you need to like be strong to defend the pyro or whatever, it can be worthwhile just taking a few seconds to go check if this farm is up. Because especially now as the game has gotten later into the game, you're getting a lot more. You're almost getting like full XP for invades. So these invades is just getting yourself a lot of farm if it's up, which is possibility of being, and it also denying the enemy's farm as well. So like they would lose out on so much. And worst case scenario, you lose like 5 seconds to go check it, 5-10 seconds. But you'd be safe too. But if you get it, then it's like it just gets you so much more for yourself and your team. What's up, Vernio? How's it going? Yeah, I haven't seen you buy a single ward yet this game, so I guess you usually don't ward.
Yeah.
Just try and get in the habit of it. Just you don't need to like buy a lot of wards, but you can use them in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Like in the
At
early
least
game,
like a ward back.
yeah, like it's useful to just. I usually put like a ward here or here, depending on. Here you wouldn't have wanted to pull the blue because you knew the Kronos was coming to look for a play together with you. Also probably didn't need to ult, but I don't mind using it because it's just a like safety measure. But you could have held on to it if you wanted. Okay, good decision to realize that you can't go there. I was gonna see if you just like stick with it. Now, because the Rama's dead, you probably want to try and be around that side of the map to soak the farm if it gets pushed. Okay, that's going right, so you should know that it will be a 4v4, but your team is looking pretty poked. You see, that was that. You die for this. This is a really bad time to die because you have a bounty, and whenever you have a bounty, you're worth so much gold. I don't know what your killing spree was. Was it 3 or what? Was it 5? Might have been 5. But yeah, you had an important bounty on you. So like, it's fine here to go and see if you can help your team and see if anyone like overextends or whatever. But just make sure that, you know, especially when you are fed and you're ahead, you never want to do anything where there's a risk that you're gonna trade a 1-for-1, because it's just never gonna be in your favor. Like the shutdown kill is so big for them, so it's only like it's never worth taking the risk. So I would have just played this a little bit like safer. As soon as you get the kill, just make sure you get away. You've already used all your abilities. You can't really contribute anything else to the fight. You could have dashed the other way, or you could have held on a little bit. Like you could have held on to your 3 more, and just instantly got like try to use your ult earlier on. But just making sure that you at least live.
Yeah.
Because there you just it was a good pick. You could have dashed away here. You would have been completely fine.
Right.
Now they get a massive kill back into the game. Look at it, like the gold swing. You guys were 6k up before this fight, and now you're only 3k. They got so much for you. And another bad thing is because you're dying fireside, they now have the opportunity to maybe try and pull Fire Giant if they feel strong enough to. I'm not sure if they will, but Misilla dies too. Yeah, so your death actually ends up being like a really bad one. I mean, it's your team is the one that's overextended in the first place, right? And then you go over to try and help them. But this is a case where in a lot of games, just trying to mitigate the losses is a super important skill set to have, which is just what you did with getting the Hades pick. Because okay, now like you got one guy out back, like you got a 1-4. Well, you got one kill back at least. And you can still be present in this side of the map if you had just survived. So if they tried to pull the Fire Giant, it could have actually worked in your favor because you would have still had like your ult and you would have been really strong to try and contest the Fire Giant in like a 3v4 or whatever if they try to pull it. But because you died, it allowed them to just pressure it for free, and they got the shutdown kill on and the Fire Giant. So just living here would have been so crucial to like how this entire scenario played out afterwards. Good juke. Yeah, nice turn on ult there. I think you 3'd once you got crippled. So you could have...
I 3'd the cat.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so I didn't even hit him.
I mean, that was a really important pick for you guys to get because she had Fire Giant and she just threw it away for no reason. Like, you were safe, so you had your Afro with you there, so it was a good opportunistic play, I guess, suppose you can say. And I just want to get the beacon. You see the left waves pushing here, so this is something you can think about where you have a choice if you want to try and hold this side of the map or want to look for something on the other side of the map. I would probably just be present here in this jungle because you have all your farm up here. You have to be careful now as well because you saw the Hades pushed up left here so they can rotate, and they also have the Fire Giants. Okay, now you have Hachi spotted on the map. This is kind of just a weird little standoff. I will try and get the enemy team to walk up a bit here. You did have bad beats there, but that's kind of a risky play to go for. Since you're probably not gonna be able to kill the Bastet there, and there's a chance you could die for it. Unless you guys got the pyro at least. See Hades in right now. There's been a long period where this form has been up, but it's
I know. This is the part of the game where I was like, I don't know if I want to walk back up there and help them fight, or I should just take all the farm that's on the side of the map. That's why like I kept like just running back and forth.
I was gonna say that like I would have probably just gone for the farm like ages ago, and just told my team to try and back out. And if they did something dumb, then I'd be like, okay, unlucky. But I feel like just trying to get this form up while this entire sequence is happening and just telling your team to be careful or whatever and just hoping they don't do something dumb is probably a smarter way of playing, because now you just waited like 1 minute for this farm to not really ever get cleared. It could have been cleared so long ago. But I understand your thought process in wanting to be close to your team because it looks like a fight could happen. But what I would have done is probably just gone for the farm. Since nothing didn't really... Like, they had fire giants, so you kind of want to try and force the enemies to make the aggressive play. You don't really want to fight far up in lane anyway. You would want to fight in the tower. So it would have been better for you to just get the farm and then be able to see what's happening afterwards. You spot that the Morrigan is getting engaged on. Yeah, the Scylla. You guys are pretty split up right now. At least you were patient with the beads there. This is not really looking fightable. You could have went for this kill if you wanted. You just... Why do you hit to there? Why did you get to there?
I missed one auto when I was casting the one. I missed the first auto.
Yeah, here I would say... oh yeah, I guess you just didn't... You just missed using the auto.
Yeah.
When you went in here, by the way, did you think that the Morrigan was close when you used your ult?
Yeah, I thought she was a lot closer.
Okay, because I was gonna say you didn't really need to ult here, but if you thought Morrigan was like gonna engage on you, then it's actually a completely fine ult.
I thought she was like right around that corner.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
already in tower.
Yeah. Then it's fine. I mean, that's unfortunate. I mean, you guys got 3 kills for 0 basically because the Chronos died in a 1v1 over there. So far, it's been good. Nice. I mean, you're playing patient there. Avoiding damage again.
Alright, so this,
That's
our
been
team
confusing.
splits here. Yeah, there's like 2 people go to gold and the other 2 go to fire.
I think here you guys should just do the gold fury. The reason being that you're already there. Because if you want to reset, then you need to heal. By the time you walk out of base, they're gonna be coming out, and then you have like Kumba Morgan that can try and stall time and make you confusion. Unless you have like, I mean, you do have pretty good DPS, but yeah, just I probably would just go for a gold if your people aren't really looking like they're instantly rotating there. So I don't know how many calls you try to make, but you can carry a lot of games just by making calls and telling your team where to be and what to do if you have the knowledge. The annoying thing when making calls is just when people don't listen to them.
Right.
Because, well, yeah, they don't listen. So you're just putting in like extra effort to try and help the team, and then it's not really getting reciprocated. Yeah. Again, I don't think you have bought a single war this game. So that's definitely something you need to try and look into.
Yeah. As the game like progresses, I think the only times I really buy wards when there's like fire giant fights, like right now is like when the only time I'll like buy wards when I know we're gonna be fighting around fire.
I was gonna say now you could actually upgrade the Jotun's glyph at this point. I think it's really strong, and because you don't, well, for some reason you left the base with 1k. I'm not sure why, but you have 1.1k in hand, and you could just level up your glyph. It doesn't give any stats, but the passive is very strong in my opinion. Like, it can help you win a fight sometimes. That's how good it is. And even if you get out of the fight, it helps you sustain so much. You can almost like full heal from like one back RP if you wait for the proc plus the Boomba spear. Like you have so much sustain. But even if you don't like it personally, then I'm fine with you just at least buying like one item. Like I don't know. I guess you might have just missed that you had the gold in hand or something. But generally, I try to get it around my third or fourth item spike.
Right.
Yeah, I like how you blinked in from the side there. Here, I was gonna say, yeah, don't. You should know you don't need to ult.
Yeah.
Because the Morgan wasn't like, unless there was a grouping of people there that you could like try and catch afterwards. I will talk a little bit about this fight after. We'll see how you could have done some stuff differently. But it's worked out so far. Now, oh, nice. Yeah, Boomba spear, so you want to make sure that you're hitting the FG and you're poked out. This should be free. Afro looks like she's... Ah, she was not just zoning. I thought she was like trying to look at the Morgan was. But this was really good, the way you... the blink you get here. Because you blink to the side instead of like directly at them. Because, I mean, in case they bust that like shot alt, then yeah. But it also means that you're in a different location to your two other teammates. So you're coming in at a different angle. Then you get a really good 3 onto the Bastet. You do miss one auto. Here,
Yeah.
it was just a waste to ult. Because the Rama's already there with you. The Bastet is a guaranteed kill. Unless, you know, you both just turn off your PCs. Or Xboxes or whatever, right? Like, it's a guaranteed kill. Holding on to the ult, like your ultimate is really, really, really strong. So, unless you think you need to use it, don't use it.
Right. I think it was just one of those like the panic sets in. Like, oh no, I missed.
Yeah.
I gotta make up for it somehow.
Here it's the only thing you have to be wary of is the fact that they have people coming around right the corner here. You don't have proper vision. You can see the Hachi there, but yeah, you don't know where the Hades is. So just being careful here so that you can get away. They use the Hachi alt. And then this guy just walks up like for some weird reason. So it's good that you have to pick afterwards. Now you get the fire giant. Start sieging. But ideally, you would have had like some more. You should have, yeah, maybe had like another power spike there as well before you even taking a fight. Oh,
I was expecting her to
okay,
jump
yeah,
back.
this was. I can definitely tell you anticipated her to leap out back as soon. Like I think you were trying to use the alt as a decoy to try and make her use the alt, or to make her jump back into it. But this entire sequence is like, I don't really like this in general. I mean, it's kind of the Chronos that's baiting it a bit. But look at where your two teammates are.
Yeah, back in base.
They're back in base. At this point, the only thing you want to do is just play safe. You can look for farm or whatever, right? We can try to help the Chronos. But yeah, definitely wouldn't go for like a big fight or anything. Especially because now you already used 2 abilities to clear this camp. Then you use another one and now you waste your ult. So this actually ended up being like a really bad play for your team. Because you guys just lost so much pace. Okay, nice teleport in. But yeah, I don't know how this fight is gonna go, but having ult up in this fight would have been massive. I guess we're looking for Morgan here. Oh, No, I think it die. 1 HP. I would just here definitely don't do this. Whatever you just did now. Try to be
Yeah, don't
close.
split.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't
don't
split off
split.
from the team.
Like the when you're low, I know that you want to try and like get away but just be close. You have an Afro that can just pocket you. Just play around her and use your team as your shield. They're your protection. Here you have nothing to protect you. If the Bastet like lingered here and she wants to kill you now, I mean, what are you gonna do? You have no way to escape. But whereas if you're close to your team and the Bastet tries to go for like a play, because all you have to do is just, you don't even need to look for like damage anymore, right? You just play close to your team and you just keep looking like, okay, where's the Bastet, where's the Bastet, where's the Hachi? Like anyone that can damage you, you just look where they are, and then if they try to go on you, you can use your team as like the shield, you can bait them in, and even if they do manage to kill you, they should always die for it. Whereas if you get caught there, then yeah. And also, because you guys are sieging, if you could have just stuck around maybe, because with Afro and Fire Giant, you could have just sustained up. Especially if you had like the Jotuns, like the Glyph, you could just clear on like a wave. Did you guys end here?
Yeah, I think we just end here.
Okay. Oh, it looks like you do. Yeah, that was about to end. Right, yeah. Well, yeah, you just back and then you don't really get to contribute to anything at the end here. But yeah, I would say just try and stay close to your team in that scenario. I mean, you played pretty well in this game for the most part. There definitely was stuff you could have done better, like a bit more efficiency with farming, like the groupings of camps, being better at taking control of that neutral farm. You made some risky plays, like going for the, like once you had your lead, try to just mitigate a loss. Like if your team makes a mistake, you just try and mitigate the loss in some way, whether that's, you know, securing buffs or farm or trying to get 1 kill back, but just prioritize making sure you stay alive when you're fed. If you're behind, it can actually be good to kind of int a bit, because you can get the shutdown bounty, right? So like looking for like a 1-for-1 when you're behind is really smart, but when you're ahead, you know, try and try and help in the ways you can, but make sure you don't risk your life doing it. I think, yeah, and then a few times you could have like been more patient with your ultimate.
Yeah, so better at keeping track of mid camps, wards.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't
start buying vision. Like it's, why not? You know,
it's
like
50 gold.
It's 50 gold, and the information it gives you is worth so much more than 50. If like, because sometimes it can set you up for like a really good play. You know, it's just learning to use the information that the ward gives you to your advantage. Because you consistently just want to get really good at like just getting really good macro, just playing the map really well and understanding what you can do when you see someone somewhere is really important. I'm trying to think, is there yeah, I mean your build path is like kind of standard. You went to Brawlers this game because they had Hades, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't think he built any protections at all.
Yeah. Then, I mean, again, you kind of left the base without upgrading the glyph. Just think about the fact that you can upgrade the glyph. It's like, it's really nice. It's a harder game to give a lot of feedback on because you played it fairly well for the most part, and like your teams, yeah, like if it's more even, it's gonna be even easier, or like, yeah, it's more information I can give you.
Right.
Let me think. I think that's mainly it. Is there anything else you had, like any other question you had?
So
anything you noticed that you wanted to talk about quickly?
Yeah, so ward placements on this map. Usually, like
Mhm.
if I were to ward, I would think you would want to ward like maybe like blue or red on their side map to watch like where the jungler is at, where he's at on rotation. If I'm not warding those two places, where else would I want to ward?
Okay, so when I ward, I typically ward in like 3 different spots. So I will choose if I want to ward. Usually, I like to ward on the tiki or the backs
Right.
because it gives me the respawn timer of when the like tiki spawning. It allows me to see if like if the tiki is spawning and like the jungler is not there, I can assume that they're looking for like a gank or something, right? Just process of
Right.
elimination. Unless I know that they just back to whatever they're coming up to. But it just gives you like a farm point that you can contest, and that is commonly gonna be like something that the jungler has to pass through. Otherwise, sometimes I will put a ward here if I feel like I'm a bit too unsafe. I will just put a ward here between the red and the harpies because it catches a lot of the rotations for the jungler as well. If he's trying to go to mid or if he's trying to go to solo, it's still common to path that way. So that's kind of the 2 places I ward on the left side. On the right side, you have a little bit more options because you can go for. So I just started warding green because I think it's like, a lot of people walk through it, not just the jungler, and it's like another farm contention. I just like to ward where like there is farm because that's kind of what I'm interested in, seeing if I can, look for and see like this farm timer. Just gives me like an idea of where I think people will be when it's coming up, and
Right.
allows me to think, okay, like can I look for a play on the other side of the map, or I want to contest it, or I want to try and evade it, whatever, right? Same thing for the green buff. And I like being able, like, if I can evade, like, if you're ahead, then you can get control of like the green. It's something that also shuts down the ADC a bit because a lot of the time the ADCs are, trying to farm the green. Otherwise, you can ward here. So like the entrance, the pathway to the chest camp, because it's also very common that people will walk that path.
Yeah, whether it's jungle rotation or
Yeah,
mid
yeah,
going to get treasure
it's gonna
buff or
be probably
something.
the jungle or the mid or whatever. Because if they're gonna walk to mid harpies, they're probably not gonna walk like all the way around here. But you can also
Mhm.
ward if you want like a really deep ward, then you can ward here. But this one is probably gonna catch the jungler the most. But if you ward here, it's more general. People are probably gonna path that way. And then otherwise, if I feel like I have gank potential in any lane, then what I will do is just buy a sentry ward, and I will just use the sentry ward in the lane that I think I can gank, because you know that they don't have vision. Then you have a
Yeah.
sentry, you can stand there and then you just allow yourself to gank a lot easier. The only thing you have to think about is that I can have vision at other places, so you just have to try and path in a way that you avoid other possible ward spots. But yeah, that would be
Yeah, it
it.
probably would. It would definitely been. I'm thinking about it now. I probably should have probably should have played a game that was a little bit more even. That I didn't do so well in. Made a lot more mistakes that
Yeah,
I didn't catch. I didn't really think about that at the time.
no, it's fine. I mean, it's completely fine. There's still stuff that we could work with, and
Yeah,
but
a lot of small things that I missed. I didn't think about it at all.
I think, yeah, and then I'm trying to like I try to highlight a little bit like the things you did well as well. So just try and keep like those things in mind. Like the things that I was most impressed was when you were taking fights and you were being selective in your engages, and when you did choose to like enter the fight, like the few fights that you played, like, to me, very well. You avoided a lot of damage, you were patient, and then once you got in, you did a lot of damage without receiving a lot of damage. So you were like really smart in how you play those engagements, and that's like how you should try and think for the majority of your fights. Just trying to be smart and finding like when you think it's safe to try and get your damage off without, getting blown up or whatever.
Right.
Um but yeah, I suppose that's it for now, unless you have any more questions.
Um, not yet, but definitely gonna come back for another one. Give you a loss the next time
Yeah, sounds good.
I ask for coaching.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it a
All
lot.
right. Yeah, it's been good. It's been nice talking to you, and you know, good luck in your games, and we'll see
Thanks,
what
man.
we get to work with in the future.
I can't wait.
All right, take care, man.
You too.
Bye bye.